for the stream to upload. It shouldn't. There it is. It's just loading up onto the channel now. There it is. So the stream's up, chat's up, and the audio is working as it should. Good, good. We're all set to go. Hello everyone, and welcome to round 5 of the PlayStation America series here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event, and this time we are racing at Circuit Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix. This 3.63 mile, 15 turn circuit was built in 1969 and it has one incredibly unique characteristic. It has an enormous amount of tarmac runoff area. More than any other racetrack on the Formula One calendar, so if a driver makes a mistake, there is plenty of room to try and fix it. The circuit has 2 DRS zones that lead into turn 1 and the best overtaking spot, the Mistral chicane of turns 8 and 9. Drivers will have to be mindful of the inside curb at turn 2, getting on the power at the exit of turn 6, the flat-out right-hander of senior turn 10, especially if it's raining, and the reducing radius left-hander of turn 12. That's always been a tricky corner to get right. In the real world, Circuit Paul Ricard isn't a circuit well known for its great racing. Usually it's rather a dull race, with the 2021 French Grand Prix being an exception to that, as Rafa has a 5 grid place penalty for a collision with Renner Jr. Oh dear. Well, that isn't good for Rafa. Has Renner got a penalty as well? Alright, can't tell from here. I'll quickly check race director just to find out. Yeah, both of them have grid penalties. Look at that. So both Renner Jr. and Rafa will have 5 grid place penalties for the start of this French Grand Prix. So drama right out of the gates, it seems, here at Circuit Paul Ricard. Yeah, so real life racing isn't particularly spectacular, but in the virtual world, I know this circuit is capable of making some awesome racing. Saw a little bit last night in Pacific Tier 1. Hopefully we do get to see some here in the America series. Now, before we focus fully on qualifying, there is a little bit of news to go through first from last week's race at Silverstone. Few incident reports, the first of which involves KD 1997 and Dal Lotto. It was the collision those two had during a safety car period that resulted in KD getting a 5-second time penalty for causing a severe collision. That incident was put up to the stewards, and to my surprise, the stewards have deemed that the penalty was justified, and as a result, there's no further action for that incident. So KD will end up finishing in second place behind Noah. There was also an incident between Rafixer and Snake and Beans that also resulted in no further action. And finally, there was a reset to track that Dal Lotto did during the race, and as a result he got a 5-second time penalty and 2 penalty points, violating Rule 4.2.1 of the Race Spec Racing rules. As a result, he would move from P7 to P9 in the final results. Looking at the Drivers' Championship, it's KD who is leading on 79 points, followed by Mighty Wombat on 77, just 2 points behind. Rafa is third on 73, and Renner Jr. is fourth on 70. Noah is 5th place on 69, followed by Dal Lotto on 49, then Lake Show on 40, JBH on 38, Oscar Toll on 28, and Flavius rounds out the top 10 on 23. Looking at the constructors, Mercedes are leading on 119 as KD sets fastest lap with a third 29.3. That's actually a pretty respectable time straight out of the box. Straight out of the blocks. Aston Martin are second on 97 points, so it's a bit of a gap between the top two already, but we've still got a long way to go. Alfa Romeo are third on 93, followed by Williams on 87. Red Bull on 77 are 5th place, followed by Alpine on 61, then Ferrari on 49. McLaren are 8th on 20. And 9th place is Haas on 16. Then AlphaTauri completes the table with 12 points. Well, that's it in terms of news. We can now fully focus on quali. Yeah, quite right, Bags. No time at all to spice things up. I'm sure Renner and Rafa are none too pleased about it, but these things do happen. Two drivers starting their first flying laps. Now, something I noticed in other tiers is that sometimes it does take a while to set legitimate lap times. There are a few areas around the racetrack where it's fairly easy to get warnings. You do have to be mindful of crosses the line and jumps up to P5 with a 31.2. The Fixer is getting ready. Black Baller is getting ready to set a flying lap. He's making his way around. The Fixer here is getting ready to finish a flying lap. Heading down the main straight, he'll open DRS, come up towards the control line. He goes slowest out of the time set, 1:32.897. Snake and Beans making his way around. He's heading down the Mistral straight towards the Mistral chicane. Easily the best overtaking spot on the circuit, turns 8 and 9. We'll see plenty of action here. Rest of the racetrack, not so much. We might see some action at turn 1, maybe at turn 3. Maybe even through here, around the fast right-hander of Senior, turn 10, and into the following right-hander of turn 11. Actually, looking at this Williams, it reminded me that Williams have released their 2022 livery. It's not a bad-looking car. It's a bit dull as Guitar Hero jumps up to 5th place with the 31 flat. It's a bit empty in certain areas. The blue is rather striking, and the red, that sort of dark red, complements it well. But it's rather an empty-looking race car. There's plenty of room for sponsorships. So hopefully we'll see that livery get filled in. Some of those empty spots get covered up by sponsors and whatnot. But no, it's not a bad-looking car. Why am I looking at Refixer when I should be looking at Shizm? It's good to see that glitch is still in the game, to be perfectly honest. Black Baller's making his way around. Noah getting ready. Same with Rafa and Darlotto and Captain Schmeg. In fact, Captain Schmeg is getting ready right now to set a flying lap. So right on board with the Haas here. Give you a guided tour of this 3.6 mile, 15 turn circuit. Heading down the main straight, down towards turn 1. He'll brake from 324 kilometers an hour to about 180 at the apex of turn 1. Exiting turn 2, you have to be careful with turn 2. That inside curve can be quite treacherous. Around turn 3, 4th gear, and he validated his lap. That's very easy to do. There's so much curve on the inside of turn 2. You have to try and use all of it as Captain Schmeg loses the back end, the exit of turn 5. Now, Rafa here, right on board. Rafa, hopefully will give you a nice complete tour of the racetrack. It's coming out of turn 2. Again, be mindful of that inside curve. Around turn 3, into turn 4, as Black Baller jumps up to 5th place with a 30.8. Missing the apex there ever so slightly there, Rafa. He could afford to use a bit more of the inside curve at turn 5. Exiting turn 7, onto the Mistral straight. He'll open DRS, put it up in top gear, and the 310, 315, 320. Hitting 323 just before the braking zone at turn 8. Exiting turn 9 to rejoin the Mistral straight, heading towards turn 10. Absolutely flat out in the dry, definitely not flat out in the wet, that is for sure. Heading around turn 11, brings it down to 5th gear, then down to 4th. Uses 4th gear at the exit of turn 11, which is one of my personal favourite corners in F1. I love turn 11. Turn 12, you have to be a bit careful with that inside curve. It's fairly elevated. You can see there, as soon as Rafa rode the inside curve, the car rotated quite sharply. He actually caught the rotation fairly well. Exiting the final corner, turn 15, he'll open the DRS. And he'll cross the control line to set a 30.8 to just overtake his teammate by 0.02 of a second. But yeah, I'm sure Renner and Rafa are definitely kicking themselves. They're currently well inside the top 10 and they both have 5 grid place penalties. So yeah, it's a bit of a kick in the guts. Knowing that you're qualifying pretty well, you're going to start well further back from where you qualified. Yeah, it's good to see that. He's back. Fix these up. There we are. Yeah, don't blame you, Bags. It's a very nasty curve on the inside of turn 2. It's slightly elevated, and if you ride it awkwardly, it'll just pick up the car and rotate it, and there's no catching it. As Renault's coming out of turn 12, around the sweeper of 13, into the penultimate corner of turn 14. You have to hug the inside here, try and open up the final corner as much as you can. And it does that pretty tidily. Opens DRS, heads down the main straightaway, crosses the line to improve by only 16 thousandths of a second to do a 29.821. Still about 4.5 tenths behind KD, who's still on pole position. JVH, you're not on a flying lap, you're about to start one. You can tell from the timer in the top right. Crosses the line to properly start a flying lap down towards turn 1 with 6.5 minutes remaining. He's got plenty of time to try and set a lap. If he does make a mistake, he can go back in, put on some fresh tyres and have another go at the end of the session. Around turn 3, then turn 4, using a healthy amount of the curbs. Around turn 5, crossing the first sector split, he is down on his personal best, only by a little bit though. Around turn 7, you could probably use a little bit extra of that inside curb there at turn 7. Down the long straightaway. Rafa hit 323 kilometers an hour. JBH has well and truly climbed over that. Well, he's just invalidated his lap there at turn 8. But he entered turn 8 at 326 kilometers an hour. So that Ferrari's got some half-decent straight-line speed. Late show, he's pulled off to the side. I think he was trying to set a flying lap, but I think he just made a mistake early. Silent Banshee, are you on a second flying lap? Oh, coming up to the chicane at 323. That was about the same speed as Rafa entering the chicane. Certainly seems like you're pushing. What does the first sector say? Yeah, you're down by 2.5 tenths. No, not pushing. Black Baller on his way through the first sector. Through turn 3, then turn 4. Modulating the brake and the throttle nicely just to get the car rotated. The first sector says he's only down by 2 thousandths of a second to his personal best. He's effectively matched it. Yellow flags, a slow Mercedes that has to be late shot. Up towards the chicane, entering at 322 through turn 8, then turn 9. Nice traction on the exit. Heading up towards a flat-out right-hander of turn 10. He's up by almost a tenth in the middle sector. A lot of time can be found here in the final sector. A lot of corners to get through. A lot of areas to make mistakes. Comes out of turn 11 pretty tidily. Not using too much of the curb, but getting nice rotation around the corner. Around turn 12, using third gear, not bothering to use second or anything of the like. Getting nice traction out of the critical corner. Around turn 14, around turn 15, the final corner on the racetrack. Short shifts to find traction, opens DRS, keeping it to the left-hand side of the racetrack. Black Baller will improve by just over 2 tenths of a second to overtake his teammate to jump up to P7. No, it appears that he'll be going back into the pits, and I believe he set that time on a set of mediums. Oh, but they're 4 laps old. Ew. Fairly old tyres there. Yeah, 4 lap old mediums. Yeesh. And he's run out of fuel as well, which is why he's going so slowly. Lake Show, he's up by almost 2/10 in the middle sector. That sort of improvement. He can overtake JBH to take P3 at the end of qualifying. Exiting turn 11 now. Using the full width of the racetrack, and Snake and Beans retires in the pit lane, so he'll be starting at best P18. Get rid of that tyre graphic just to increase the viewing space. Around turn 14, and around the final corner of 15. Actually noticed there with the telemetry, he spent quite a bit of time coasting into the corner, so there's a bit of time to be found at the final turn, but he improves by just over 4/10 of a second to just miss out on taking P2 from Renault, but of course he's got that 5 grid place penalty, so for the race start it will be a Mercedes-Benz 1-2 at this point. KD starting what could be his final flying lap through turn 1, then turn 2. He's still on pole position by a very healthy margin. See if he can improve around turn 3, then 4. Using 3rd gear. We'll keep it in 3rd. Actually, no, he brings it up to 4th gear for turn 5. Interesting. He's up by 0.5 of a second. Around turn 7 onto the Mistral straight. He'll open DRS. Now, the fastest I've seen down here is 326 kilometers an hour, and that was JBH. KD, he only hits about 322. Cuts a lot of turn 8, uses a lot of curve at turn 9, gets nice traction at the exit of the right-hander. Back onto the straightaway towards turn 10. He's up by almost 1/10 of a second. Around turn 10, using all the curve he can, up towards 11. Very fast entry, brings it down to 5th gear, keeps it in 5th. For the exit of 11, gets nice traction at the exit of the right-hander. Around turn 12, using 4th gear on the exit. Again, getting great traction out of the corner. Around turn 14, hugs the inside to try and open up the final turn as much as he can. Uses 3rd gear. It's held up by Darlotto just a little bit. As he opens DRS down the main straightaway, up towards the line. KD will set a 29.383. Misses out on improving on his personal best by 4 thousandths of a second. But yeah, I reckon he lost a whole heap of time at that final corner. Did not take it well at all. Didn't help that he was probably a bit distracted from Darlotto. He's down in 20th at the moment, so if he doesn't get his act together, he'll be starting from the very back of the field. And Noah's on soft tyres as well, I just noticed that too. Silent Banshee will cross the line. Stays in P6, but does improve by 1/10 of a second. Williams behind. Is that Jaber? It is. He's setting his final flying lap. So Renault and Lakeshore, their qualifying session is over, as Shizant has retired. There's Flavius right in front of Darlotto, so a bit of conflict of interest here between these two. They're both on genuine flying laps. Darlotto will lose a bit of time being stuck behind the Alfa Romeo. Around the penultimate corner, around the final corner. Ooh, almost hitting Flavius there. Get a healthy toe down this straightaway. It won't be the most competitive time he could have set. And he jumps up to P6 with a 30.153. Noah, his session is over. He's invalidated his final flying lap. Silent Banshee is on his potential final flying lap, making his way out of turn 11. No, he's not pushing. I don't think he's pushing. So it's qualifying over for Banshee. Rafa will cross the line. He doesn't improve, and that will mean he'll start from P15 on a set of soft tyres, I believe, as well. Yeah, that won't be good. Renault will drop down to P7, making it a Mercedes-Benz 1-2 at the end of qualifying. There we are. Just be waiting on Lob to return to his garage and get this race underway. So, according to Flavius, there's a 11% chance of rain at the start, increasing to 17% at 30 minutes, then dropping back down to 10. So, very low chance of rain for the start of this French Grand Prix. Don't think we should see any. But there we are. It's Katie on pole position. Renner qualifies in second place, but he won't start there with that 5 grid place penalty. Lake Show will instead start in second, followed by Captain Schmeg in third, then JBH in fourth, Darlato in P6, then Noah... Oh, sorry, JBH in P4, then Darlato P5, Noah in P6, then Renner P7, then Silent Banshee P8, Black Bowler in 9th, then it'll be Sir Jake who completes the top 10. Then it'll be Guitar Hero in 11th, Lob in P12, then Psycho in P13, Flavius P14, then Rafa P15, then Jaber, Oscar Tolra, Fixer, Shizen, and Snake and Beans, I believe, will start from the back. Alrighty. Race time here at Circuit Paul Ricard. There are a few strategies you can do here. I think the most ideal one is probably medium soft, medium hard, something like that. For those starting on the soft tyre, it's probably soft hard. I've seen some drivers try to make the two-stop work, but that extra time in the pit lane does hurt you. You need to be pretty much on top of your game throughout the entire race in order to make the two-stop work. You need a bit of luck with safety cars and virtual safety cars as well, I imagine, too. So it'll be interesting to see what the drivers do for this race, because there are a few options. Hello, Broke Vegan. PRL for the win. I noticed that next to Noah's name. Seems that he's part of either an esports team or a league. Oh, it's only fair enough. Noah, I've noticed, is one of the quicker drivers within the America Series. Very quick driver. Right. Let's see who's starting on what tyre. It's more one-sided than I thought it was going to be. Alright, so as SP Jaber has been disqualified, so he'll have cold tyres for the start of this race, it seems. But okay, the top 5, so you've got KD, Lake Show, Captain Schmeg, JVH, Darlato. They're all starting on the soft compound tyre. We've got Noah in P6 starting on the mediums. Then Renner, P7, he's starting on the soft, same with Silent Banshee and Black Bowler in 9th place. So Jake, he's got fresh tyres on in P10. He's starting on the mediums. Guitar Hero and Lob, they're starting on hard compound tyres. And they're the only 2 drivers starting on the hards, which is interesting to see. Psycho P13 starting on the mediums, same with Flavius in P14. Rafa, he's on the tyres he qualified on. He qualified inside the top 10. So he has to start on worn softs. He doesn't get a free choice of tyre. And Jaber, who disqualified himself, he's starting 16th on the mediums. Same with Oscar Toll in 17th place, and Rafixer in P18. And the last row has Shizant and Snake and Beans. They're also starting on the medium compound tyre. So we have got 9 cars on the mediums, 2 cars on the hards, and being 9 cars on the softs. There they are. I would have thought a few more drivers would have picked the hard tyre, but nope, turns out I'm wrong. Rightio. Leaders are lined up, ready to race. We'll just be waiting on the drivers at the back to line up, and we can get this race on the way. 27 laps lay in front of us here. We got 20 cars on the grid, which is fantastic to see. Here we go. We're ready to race. We've got 10 red lights. And we are underway here in Le Castellet. It's a nice start from both of the Mercedes-Benzes as they head down towards turn 1. It'll be KD who would lead the field through. JBH looking down the inside of Lakeshow. Lakeshow tries to fight back at turn 2, but can't. And spinning is Noah. Spinning is the Aston Martin of Noah, and he drops down through the order to 16th place. Oh, and if he rejoined there, he's side by side with Snake and Beans. Oh, as I see end plates falling off some of the cars. Shizant has got a missing end plate. Rafa's got a missing front wing on his Red Bull as they head around turn 5 as the back end of the field really bunches up. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Gamer's up a few positions. Noah's trying to recover. What about the leaders? What are they up to? Bit of weaving going on down the Mistral straight, trying to break the toe. Got yellow flags out. I thought Guitar Hero might have been a bit vulnerable there to Oscar Toll. Oscar looked awfully close. Captain Schmeg on the back of Lakeshow here, looking around the long way at turn 10. He keeps it on the outside too, and he's through into third. What an overtake from Captain Schmeg to move himself into third place. KD out in front. He's almost got a second margin already to JBH, who has a bit of an awful run at the exit of turn 12. Around turn 14, around the final corner of 15. So a bit of drama on the opening lap. Noah, one of the championship contenders, spinning out at turn 2. A bit of carnage after that involving the likes of Rafa and Shizant, both of whom getting damage on the opening lap. Through turns 1 and 2 once again. These fellas are fairly close together, but we won't see too much action just yet. Not until DRS is enabled. See that from the start. JBH up 2 positions. Lakeshow down 2. Renner up 2. A nice recovery. And a 5 good place penalty, making up a couple of spots. So Jake up 3. A nice start from here. Psycho up 5. Oscar Toll up 8. Noah has overtaken Java for P13. Down the inside straight. Oscar's closing in. He hasn't closed in by enough to try and overtake the AlphaTauri of LFR Psycho. In the second part of the Mistral Straight, all of them in a tow. All of them in a train, I should say. Utilising the tow. So Banshee is overtaking Java. Down the inside at turn 10. They're wheel to wheel on the exit. Around turn 11. Oh, a bit of contact there. Black Bowler's trying to get through. Speaking of him, he's had a fairly shocking start himself, down 7 positions. Make that 6 as he's trying to get around the Williams. Through turn 13, he has the inside line, and he's through into 15th place. All contact between Rafixa and Flavius at the final corner. Rafixa goes straight into the back of the Alfa Romeo, and he has front wing damage. Here comes Noah. He's trying to pass the both of them. He's looking down the inside at turn 1. Can't get it done as Rafixa runs wide. Oh, and he cuts in front of Noah. And through goes Silent Banshee to take the both of them. Noah's trying to get him around the outside at turn 3. Oh, and there's contact between the two. And spinning once again is Noah. He almost puts it into the fence. His front wing looks okay. And Lakeshow is out of the race. He has crashed at the exit of turn 7. Where is he? There he is there, on the left-hand side. More than likely lit the rears up at corner exit. And as a result, he's in the wall and out of the race. So some drama on the opening lap, and it's continuing, it seems. Oh, maybe a bit of contact there between those two. Awfully close. See, Jaber here's got a penalty already. You can see he's got a missing end plate on the left-hand side as well. So he won't have too much front-end grip. So Jake here working away at Darlotto. Oh, as Guitar Hero brings out yellow flags. Wonder if he was helped. He's down in 13th place now. tumble down through the order. So Jake, he's got to run. He's got DRS and he's through into 5th place. No real resistance there from Darlotto. Not that he could really do anything without DRS. Oscar's done the same. He's into 7th place, overtaking Psycho. Made up 10 places over the course of the race. That's a really solid effort from Oscar. And he's continuing his charge towards the front. A lot of weaving. Captain Schmeg trying to hang on to 2nd place, destroying his tyres in the process. JBH trying to follow, and he's destroying his tyres as well. And there's Renner Jr. just behind. 4th, just watching the show. There's KD, our race leader. There's Captain Schmeg and JBH. Renner is in 4th. Still within that 1 second range of the Ferrari. Around turn 12. Then it's a 4.1 second gap to Sir Jake. It's a fairly big margin. But he is on the medium compound tyre. So it'll be interesting to see how strategy has an effect on this race. As Noah overtakes Fixer for 16th. Those two coming together at turn 3, resulting in Noah having his 2nd spin of the race. Got a lot of work to do down in 16th. But as we've seen in previous streams, he's quite a capable driver, so see if he's able to catch up. I thought these two are about to have a battle, which is why I flicked away from this pack here. This is probably the closest battle we have on the racetrack, just looking at the... oh, hello! And Jaber spun. Now, I noticed that Noah overtook Jaber just before the yellow flag came out, so just an educated guess, the two made contact at turn 12. Like, these two are, oh, dearie me, awfully close to one another there at turns 8 and 9. I think there was a little bit of contact, I'm not sure. As Renner gets through into 3rd, can he challenge for 2nd? He's looking around the long way. Can't really get it done here. He's got momentum off the corner. Will he send it? No, he won't. He'll stay behind the Ferrari through turn 11. Up towards turn 12. Renner isn't close enough to try and send it here, though he does get awfully close to the Ferrari. Meanwhile, KD's pulling away. He's now got a 3.3 second margin. Made a good chunk of time as Captain Schmeg goes into the pit lane. Renner gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Now this is a fairly early stop to get off the soft tyre. Darlotto is in the pits as well, and here comes Renner down the inside, and he's through into 2nd place. JBH will surely fight back. No front wing change for Captain Schmeg, so this is a planned stop, and he's moved on to another set of soft compound tyres. Darlotto has done the same thing, pitting in this lap, but he's pitted on to a set of mediums. So, yeah, fairly big mix of strategies going on. Well, that was 100% a warning there for Flavius. He cut all of turn 3 there. Black Baller closing in. As he closed in by enough to try and pass, I think he has. 2.5 tenths separating the two, and here he comes as Noah sets the fastest lap. Black Baller overtakes Flavius for P8. And a fairly big left there from Flavius. A very big left. JBH, oh, and Renner battling it out for 2nd place. The Ferrari looks down the inside here at turn 11. Renner tries to fight back, can't do it. He stays behind in 3rd place. An audacious move from JBH, but he wants 2nd. He definitely wants 2nd place. Renner, he'll be able to fight back though with the raw power of DRS. And oh well, there you go. JBH going into the pits. Interesting. Renner stays out. See what JBH is up to. What are you pitting onto? A set of hard compound tyres. Away he goes. Where does he come out relative to his rivals? His first rival is Probably Captain Schmeg here. Still in the pit lane. Where is he? There he is there. I think he's just turned his pit limit off now. So that's the gap between him and Captain Schmeg. It's a good 2 seconds between the two drivers, and Captain Schmeg is on fresh, soft compound tyres, so to be able to get the hammer down, try and set some really quick laps. First he has to try and get by Guitar Hero, who's on 6-lap old hard. Oh, a big wiggle there from the Alpine. And here comes Captain Schmeg. Surely he's got a run. 3.5 tenths behind. He should be able to get by. He's dumping a fair bit of battery in order to do it. He's in single digits. In fact, he might run out of battery by the end of the straight. There he goes through into 8th. He's awfully close to running out of battery. He'll fix a 3-second time penalty, and look at him pull away. He gained 7.5 tenths through that corner alone. SP Jaber, a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Snake and Beans, Darlotto fairly close together on track, separated by 2 tenths as they exit the chicane, and through goes Darlotto. Renner is into the pits now. After 6 laps he's in. Looking for what? Out of curiosity. Silent Banshee is into the pits as well. Banshee's got medium tyres at the ready. Renner, it's a set of mediums as well. Interesting. Captain Schmeg, he gets out in front of Renner. What about JBH? He does as well, only just though. Fairly close between these two. Captain Schmeg got a pretty decent undercut, but that's to be expected as he's on this soft compound tyre. Let's see here. Black Baller, Snake and Beans fairly close together. Snake and Beans can keep up with the Red Bull through this section. He might be able to try and pass him down the long straight, but he's missed the apex at 3, and look at that. The gap increases to almost a second between him and Black Baller. He's trying to close in on Darlotto in P12. Renner, he'll get a bit of DRS down the Mistral straight, which would have helped him close in on the Ferrari. Should be close enough to get a bit of the slipstream, so he'll pull in that little bit more. The battle should intensify between these two as KD, our race leader, goes into the pit lane. And what is he going to do? A set medium compound tyres going onto the car, and away he leads. So Jake will go through to take the lead of the French Grand Prix. Oscar Toll is in second, Psycho is in third. Flavius, will he take fourth? Potentially. Here comes Captain Schmeg. Look, oh my goodness. Captain Schmeg really moving the car left and right to try and pass. You really don't want to do that. It just kills your tyres if you do stuff like that. You need to be fairly mindful of how much you weave the car down the straight. KD, he'll get some DRS here from Flavius. Try and pass the Alfa Romeo, should go fairly successfully. There we go. He's through into fifth. JBH has overtaken Guitar Hero's Guitar Hero. Oh dear, he's lost 2 places through this section. He's on old rubber. He's unable to fight. Darlotto overtaking Silent Banshee. They're battling through turn 9. Darlotto gets in front. Banshee will slot in the slipstream, try and close in on the Alpine. Not bothering to use any battery though, as they head around turn 10. There's a bit of speed at the exit, but he's not close enough to attack into turn 11. Oh, he understeers wide a little bit. Darlotto pulls away. Yellow flags, that's Guitar Hero going slowly around turn 13. Exiting turn 12, heading around turn 13 now. Darlotto pulls away ever so slightly. Renner closing in. JBH doesn't have any DRS to help him out. So now he has these wing mirrors full of Alfa Romeo. He's got a whole heap of Alfa Romeo in front of him too. An Alpha sandwich. Couldn't get much more Italian, if I'm honest. This group here. Oh, getting a fair bit of rotation there, Renault. The exit of turn 6, kept it nice and narrow. JBH will get through. Renault will try and get through as well. Noah gets a time penalty. And here comes Renault. JBH has to defend a little bit. It compromises his line through turn 9, and Renault was just too eager. Turned in way too early. He could have played a bit more patiently and got him on the exit of turn 9. That probably would have been a more sensible thing to do, rather than try and get the switchback at the apex of turn 9. Yeah, just a bit too eager with the steering wheel there. Lob, Silent Banshee, side by side through turn 10. That was awfully close between Lob's front wing and the rear wheel on Silent Banshee's Ferrari. Tight stuff, good stuff to watch though. Silent Banshee is into 11th place. Captain Schmeg got KD next to him. Now got KD in front of him. Mercedes moves into 4th. Renault overtaking JBH, moves into P6. How will JBH respond? Lovely aerial shot here, looking over the racetrack. As Captain Schmeg gets a 3-second time penalty. Probably best, folks, so you wear some 3D glasses while looking at this racetrack. Very disorientating if you don't, with its blue and red colour scheme in the runoff area. Now, JBH has actually lost a fair bit of time through that opening sector. He still has DRS, which will help him out. But, yeah, it seems those medium compound tyres, they still have a half-decent edge on them. KD moves into 3rd place, or at least he's trying to. Psycho keeps the car on the outside. He slots into 4th place. KD's got a fair bit of clear track in front of him, which will allow him to put the hammer down. Try and set some good laps, good consistent laps. Yeah, JBH just losing time, but as the race wears on, those medium compound tyres won't feel particularly great towards the end. I reckon both Renault and KD, they're trying to get their tyres to the end. I don't think they'll be making another stop. So it'll be a fair old stint on the mediums. They'll feel pretty average by the end. All that JBH needs to do is try and keep up. Lob, he's got a bit of company. He's got Black Baller right behind as they head into turn 1. Through turn 2. Red Bull is awfully close. Can he get the run? Not quite. Not quite. Oh, me complain about camera angles, Black Moon. I could do that, but the camera angles here aren't half bad. As Captain Schmeg moves into 4th place. There's one irritating thing about some of the camera angles where the leaderboard blocks up the racetrack. Can be a tad bit annoying, but for the most part, they're pretty decent. Oh, as Lob goes into the back of Black Baller. Oh dear. And Shizen gets a 3-second time penalty out of nowhere. Well, there we are. Roscoe, I'm in the chat. The front tyres are the key thing to worry about, it seems. Like he suffered in Elite Series, he got a puncture at the end of the race, overcooking his front tyres. A few drivers in, so Jake on the hard tyre now. Captain Schmeg, what will he move on to? Yellow flags are out. That is Noah. Has to be Noah. Onto a set of hard tyres for Captain Schmeg. A lot of drivers moving on to the hards. Yeah, that's it. You've got to show off the painted areas. You've got to showcase all the runoff area, which is the only remarkable thing about Circuit Paul Ricard. Darlotto gets a 3-second time penalty. He's just in front of us here. Silent Banshee has half a moment at the exit of turn 5. Darlotto, he'll try and get by his teammate here. Use the power of DRS, use the power of the battery, and Guitar Hero cannot do a thing. Goes down into P6. Oh, it doesn't get a great run through turn 8 either. He's got Silent Banshee right behind. Those hard compound tyres have seen better days, it would seem, as Silent Banshee. Well, I guess you can tell from the engine note that Guitar Hero is just letting him by. JVH and Renner here are battling. So JVH, I thought he would just stick behind. And Oscar gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding. That's a very easy thing to do. The pit lane here is only 60 kilometers an hour. Or in Queen's English, that's 37 miles an hour. So you have to pull the car up pretty ferociously. If you don't, get a 5-second time penalty, just like Oscar did there. Cutting a 10th bit there at turn 2. I don't think that was a warning. It would have been pretty close. Keeping eyes on the intervals. Try and find all the battles as Captain Schmeg gets by. Guitar Hero gets a 3-second time penalty. Got yellow flags. It's Guitar Hero. He's in the wall. Can he get going? Yep. We'll have to flick it round. There we go. Nice and easy. And he rejoins nice and safely. Good job. He's now got damaged front wing, so he'll have to come in and get that fixed. He'll probably put on the medium tyres and go to the end, I would think. Black Baller closing in on Oscar Toll. Oscar's on fairly fresh hard compound tyres. So we'll see if he can extract some speed out of them. And, so Jake, he'll have Oscar for company if he's not careful. Oscar's within that 1 second range. In fact, he's closing in. So we might see a bit of a scrap between potentially 3 drivers here for P6. Flavius has overtaken Guitar Hero. Yeah, Guitar Hero with that damaged wing, doing the best he can. Only so much you can do. With a broken front end, as Rafa and Fixer get by as well. JBH, I think he's still just trying to follow Renner. Yellow flags are about. That's Flavius. It's not Guitar Hero, that's Flavius. So he's had a moment at turn 12. I'm not sure if he was helped in any way, shape or form, but he's lost positions. He's down in 16th now as the Guitar Hero goes into the pits. Noah's on the back of Lob here, heading up towards turn 3. Can't really send it here. He's not close enough. He just needs a good run through this complex. He'll get by using DRS. Lob doesn't get a great run at the exit of 5. Uses way too much curb at 6. Through 7. Here comes the Aston Martin. With the DRS. Lob, bit awkward there. I think Lob was trying to move off the racing line to let Noah through. I don't think he was trying to block. Just looked a bit nasty. That's all. From that point of view. Ah, these 3. Well, I thought these 3 would close up. They certainly have. Heading around turn 12 now. Oscar is within half a second of Sir Jake. Black Baller in P8 is 4 tenths behind. Coming around the final corner now. Oscar won't be close enough. Black Baller, he could be close enough if Oscar didn't have DRS. That's the problem with these little DRS trains. If you're in the middle of them or at the back of them, you can do nothing. You just do nothing. Can't do a thing. In another aerial shot, you get to see the many different layouts around the racetrack. There's about 70 million of them, I reckon, around here at Circuit Paul Ricard. Noah, a 3-second time penalty. Lob, a 3-second time penalty. These three make their way around turn 7 as they head onto the Mistral straight. Black Baller's got a run, but has he got enough of a run? He's right behind. Look at Sir Jake. Just the speed difference. Ooh, that was close. You can see there, Black Baller moving to the left there. He thought he outbroke himself and he was going to hit Oscar. So he moved to the left to try and avoid a collision. Fortunately, though, he actually broke roughly at the right time. Car pulled up rather nicely. Oscar on the back of Jake. Kind of up and around turn 12. Very tricky corner to get right. Reducing radius left-hander. You have to take a very late apex. You have to open up the corner at the entry. Try and carry a lot of speed through the turn. Leaves you vulnerable on the inside. Drivers can try and send it down the inside at turn 12. With mixed results, probably the best way of putting it. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it really doesn't work out. Notice as well, Captain Schmeg is closing in on this too, so we've got a four-way fight as Sir Jake gets a 3-second time penalty. Are you close enough, JBH? I reckon you are. Well, no. I was wrong. The Fixer gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding, I think I saw there. You actually see, he's got quite a bit of battery too. Quite a bit, 70-odd%, compared to Renner, who's got 7. Quite a big difference. I'm sure you would agree between those two in terms of battery. Ooh-wee. Guitar Hero sets a new fastest lap at 32.894. Black Baller, there's Captain Schmeg. Got a four-way fight for P6 on track. Oh, Black Baller gets fairly nice rotation at turn 11. Doesn't get the exit he wants though, and as a result, he gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Captain Schmeg is now on the back of him. They head around 13 towards 14. He's looking to the inside. He's got a nose alongside, and he's potentially through. Black Baller trying to go back down the inside of the final corner. They make contact at the exit of the final turn. Captain Schmeg gets through, but it's definitely not over. So long as you've got DRS, you're still very much in this. As Oscar Toll tries to go around the outside of turn 1. That usually doesn't work. So if you watch the Pacific Tier 1 race, you see one of the few times it does. Around turn 4, heading up and around turn 5. So Jakey's going to be fairly vulnerable here, I would think. Oscar's close. Oh, a bit of a wiggle there from Captain Schmeg. They head on to the straightaway. Bit of weaving going on, trying to break the toe. Here comes the Aston Martin of Oscar Toll. He looks to the inside down towards turn 8. So Jake can do nothing. Oh, I thought he was going to try and fight around the outside of turn 8, but no. Rather wisely slots back behind Oscar. Gets himself down to P7. Yeah, look at these four. All close to one another. Heading around turn 10. Captain Schmeg is close. Not close enough though. Oh, it might not stop him from trying. He's got a nose there, a bit of contact, you could hear it. A slight rub between Captain Schmeg's front wing and Sir Jake's right rear wheel. Around turn 14. Black Baller's right there as well. Doesn't send it on Captain Schmeg though at the final corner. Here comes Sir Jake. He's got DRS. He's using a bit of battery as well. He moves to the inside to take P6 away from Oscar. So he's back at the front of this train. Getting down towards turn 3. Looks like a 4/10 margin, but I'm afraid that's not enough. As JVH well and truly on the back of Renner here. He'll oh, and he's waving to him as well. He's giving his rival a bit of a wave. Said, hello, mate. I'm here to take your P2. He's got all that battery. Will he try and drive away? No. Not using any battery. Neither is Renner at this point. Well, here we go. Down into turn 8. So Jake and Captain Schmeg are side by side. Captain Schmeg loses out a little bit. Here's Black Baller all over the back of him. He's trying to draw alongside. Oh, I think he's done it now. They're side by side heading down towards turn 12. Black Baller has the inside line. Captain Schmeg is having none of it though. He fights around the long way. Into turn 11 they go. They're still side by side. Black Baller, he pulls out of it. Probably a wise thing to do there. Noah's going to get involved soon as well. They head around turn 12. Not much you can do here. Oh, except do something like that. He has spun. Captain Schmeg has spun at the exit of turn 12. He's now out of the fight. Oh dear, oh dear. And Black Baller's into the pit. He's in. Now, is there a front wing change? Or is this a... No, this is a proper stop onto the soft tyre. Interesting. Oh dear, I was really looking forward to that battle. And, Captain Schmeg took himself out of it. And Black Baller pit. So... Well, hello, Renner. And he retakes second place, but there's no waving from the Canadian driver. He just gets through. He gets the job done. JBH, what is his response? He's 2/10 behind. He's trying to draw alongside. Not a wise thing to do at turn 10. He just stays behind. Around turn 11. 3/10 separating the two. 2.5 now as they head into turn 12. The delta between the mediums and the hards would be fairly even by this point. Maybe the advantage is to the hard tyre now as Noah moves himself into 7th place. So Jake, can he do anything in response to this? Oh, a bit of a wiggle there from Noah as he loses the back end in a similar style to Captain Schmeg. And he goes in. He's done 16 laps on the hard tyre and he's in. So he'll be putting on a set of soft tyres and he'll go to the end. No front wing change? Nope. Not even a front wing adjustment. Alright, back to this, shall we? That's about the closest battle we have on track at the moment. JVH, I don't think he'll be close enough. There, he's still waving his DRS flap there. Communicating to Renner. He might be communicating to us as well watching. Just saying hello to everybody. Bit of a battle going on here as well for the final spot. So Snake and Beans and Shizant are fairly close together on track. The rest of the field though, at this point are pretty well spread out. Not the most unusual thing in the world to see at Circuit Paul Ricard. Oh, look at this, Noah's going to close in by a whole heap here with DRS. Now within half a second of Black Baller. This battle's going to intensify very, very shortly. Moves our eyes back towards the front though. It's JBH still closing in. He's still waving that DRS flap. Maybe me. Does it that often, I reckon it might be a technical thing. Was that Snake and Beans? It is. So he brought out yellow flags there. I wonder if he and Shizant came together, potentially. Not too sure. Alright, heading. Snake and Beans, he's retired. He's voluntarily retired, I should add. That's a no-no. There goes the car pulling off to the side. Hopefully we won't see a safety car. Tell you what, he's doing it that often, I reckon it might be a technical thing. That his DRS just won't stay open. He's weaving left and right, left and right, left and right as they head into the right-hander. Around turn 11. He's looking, but he can't get the move done. Just working away. Now, These fellas are all very much spread out, and Noah has overtaken Black Baller as well. He's now into the top 10 as Psycho has a 3-second time penalty. As Roscoe Arms said in chat, these medium runners still have to be mindful of punctures towards the end. It's a very real chance to get a last lap puncture. He's still waving that DRS flag. Oh man. Bring up the penalties now. We just got to remember, those on the mediums are KD, Renner, Darlato, and Silent Banshee. They're all on the mediums. If they get a puncture, could spell disaster for them. As Noah moves into 9th place, overtaking Psycho. That looked like it was at the final corner as well. Noah sets the fastest lap at 31.5. Takes that point away. Again, just switching that DRS flap on and off, on and off, on and off as Noah gets a 3-second time penalty. Back onto the straightaway. 2 tenths behind. And again, weaving. Left and right, left and right. They head down towards turn 11. JBH has got a bit of a run. He looks to the inside. And he pulls out. He didn't commit to the battle there. He just backed out of it. Black Baller has overtaken Psycho for P10 as well. Sarlotto's size look okay at the moment. Silent Banshee, his look okay. And if KD had a puncture, he'd be losing time to this battle here for P2. Onto the main straightaway. JBH is close, he has DRS. He's still flicking on and off. Heading around turn 1, the gap is 2.5 tenths. Around turn 2. Down towards a complex of 3-4 time. Close enough to try and battle just yet. Tires still look good. Tires still look good. KD still building up a margin. He's got 17 seconds to Renner. Pretty big gap, has to be said. JVH again, he's playing a very patient game here. I reckon he's just messing around with Renner at this point. Just stand behind. He's got the advantage in terms of the penalties. He's got a whole heap of battery. He's on hard tyres that aren't dying of death. So he's just waiting. KD out in front, look at that. Second and third are making their way through 13. KD just crossed the line to start lap 25. That's how big the margin is. KD well and truly a class above the rest of the field at the moment. And here comes JBH. All this overspeed, he takes second place away from Renner. And now I think he'll just dump his battery, try and break away. So he isn't doing that. Carlotto, another penalty, increasing his tally to 12 seconds as Renner, I thought I saw there, had a bit of a moment at the exit of 4. Oh, and spin! Into the wall goes JBH! He's thrown away second! He has thrown it away! Oh my goodness, the games he's played and he's paid the price! With 2.5 laps to go. Here comes Darlotto to take third, on track at least. But it could potentially mean Silent Banshee will finish in the final podium spot. My goodness, the drama. Oh, hello. Yellow flag. Why? Oh, Guitar Hero. Right. And he gets a 10-second time penalty for that. Yeah, no, that makes sense. KD's got 2 more laps to get through. His tyres still look intact. Same with Renner. There's Guitar Hero. Hello, Guitar Hero. Darlotto, his tyres look good too. Same with Silent Banshee and JBH into the pits. Well, there we go. All those games, the waving of the DRS flap, the weaving. And he finally passes him. He has the opportunity to drive away. And he makes such a costly mistake at turn 7. Oh my goodness. And he's now dropped to 10th. Make that 11th. And there's a real chance that he'll finish in P11 too. He has to do a bit of closing in on Psycho here. Right. So now it's just a waiting game. That's all the drama we have left is waiting. Because these tyres, they're old. They're very old. Very much in puncture territory. All it takes is the Codemaster Gogs saying you'll have a puncture now. That's all it takes. It's all up to the Codemaster Gogs now. KD's done all he needs to do, and he's got a 20.6 second lead over Renner. He's got a huge margin in hand. He just needs to bring it home. Through 3, then 4. What about Renner? What about his tyres? Yeah, they still look good. Carlotta? Yep. Silent Banshee. And there's Oscar. Unfortunately, he's got 8 seconds worth of pen, so he's not really in this fight. I'm looking at that front left. I thought it might have been punctured, but no, it's not. Still inflated. All 4 tyres are still inflated. Coming around turn 9. You don't want it to go here. Such a fast corner. Have a tyre puncture there. Be really nasty. As Silent Banshee is overtaken. He's got a puncture, I think. Or is he out of... No, he's out of fuel. He's out of fuel. That's why he's going so slowly. Yeah, solid red icon. He's out of fuel. 2 more corners for KD. He's done it. No puncture on that Mercedes-Benz whatsoever. Pole position to victory lane. KD wins the French Grand Prix. What a dominant performance. We were waiting on Renner and the rest across the line. Renner gets through it. He will finish in P2 at the end of this race. Oh, and Darlotto, he has a puncture. He has a puncture. So who will finish in the final podium spot? That is the question. Will it be Oscar? Will it be Sir Jake? It's Sir Jake who finishes on the podium. In 3rd place, it was going to be Silent Banshee, but he ran out of fuel on the final lap. A whole heap of penalties going on there. What the? 10-second time penalties. Oh, Noah has run out of fuel as well. Oh, and Psycho has run out of fuel. Quite a few drivers have run out of fuel. That means Rafa here will gain a whole heap of spots. What's this? He'll jump up from 12th to 10th. I thought he was going to gain more, not going to lie. But he's going to finish inside the top 10. How about that? Drama. Drama, drama, drama. There we are. Oscar Toll, driver of the day. His performance in the final results screen. Well, KD puts it how it is in the chat. To whom it may concern. You can finish the rest. You know how it ends. Renner will finish P2. And Sir Jake will finish on the podium. In third. Just like that. KD with a fairly dominant victory here in Le Castellet, winning by 25.3 seconds in the end. Very big margin. So Jake finishes third. Oscar from 17th to 4th. Yeah, no wonder he was given driver of the day. How about that? That's Sir Jake. Good performance from him too. From P10 to P3. Great effort. Carlato P5. Captain Schmeg P6. Black Baller P7. JBH, what could have been P8. Psycho in 9th, and Rafa rounds out the top 10. Noah P11, what could have been for him with fastest lap. Silent Banshee P12, Lord P13, Javer in 14th, Rafixa, our final point scorer in 15th, and Flavius Shizant, Guitar Hero, and a retirement Snake and Beans and Lake Show. Surprised to see there wasn't a safety car or VSC over the course of this race. Was expecting at least one. Yes, as Black Moon puts it, in real life, this track is dull. Very dull. But in the virtual world, it's definitely not dull. It's like with many other boring racetracks, like Sochi, for example, Barcelona, even tracks like Abu Dhabi. It can be pretty interesting. It's something with a virtual racing. It always has better or more entertaining racing, I should say. Not better racing, more entertaining racing. Yeah, when Plebs put it in the wall at 13, I was thinking we were going to have a safety car as well in Tier 1, but no, we didn't. And we had a few incidents and one voluntary retirement on track that could have resulted in a safety car, but we didn't get one. Oh, Barcelona for endurance. That would be fun, but I like Barcelona. Minus that chicane at the end of the lap, Barcelona is quite fun. Do like that track. Yeah, quite right, KD. With so many runoffs, it's kind of difficult to crash. In wet weather conditions, though, completely different story. My goodness, so easy to crash in the wet. But I think, chat, we can wrap up the stream. Fairly entertaining one, I'm sure you will agree. We had a bit of everything. We had some racing, we had some battles, we had some action and drama dotted throughout several points over this race. It was certainly quite fun to watch, and I hope you enjoyed it at home or wherever you're watching as well. But with the race finally over, it's time for us to end the stream. Tune in throughout the week, as we've still got plenty of racing to come here on Race Spec Esports. But for the America series, we'll have to wait until next week. Until then, I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you for round 6 of the championship at Circuit de Spa Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. Goodbye.